Yo, what's going on? I'm Marcus. You're at the channel The Debt-Free Dad. It's a late night on a Friday, but we're going to get these in. I was actually watching some other content creators, which may lead me to do a live tomorrow on Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of the village of Dalton. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. I'm Marcus. If you're new to the channel, over here we talk finances and attorney reactions. Always got to toss out the disclaimer that keeps the folks at the Bar Association happy. I'm a licensed attorney in multiple jurisdictions. None of those jurisdictions amount to me being your counselor at law. So if you're looking for a professional in the legal arena and the finance arena, do your due diligence. Find a professional in your local area who has a fiduciary responsibility. And more importantly, make sure you cross-reference that professional with the local state licensing agency to make sure they are in fact a professional and not just some random person trying to put veneers in your mouth as a non-dentist. Sorry, your boy getting messages all late. See, I do that, then I can hear the messages if I get them and I ain't got to check my phone. In any event, this video is going to be a short video. I'm going to take a look at a few scams that are going on. These scams are interesting because one is one that I talked about relatively recent. It kind of hit close to home. Is one that targets recent graduates. And a vehicle for a lot of scams related to employment is LinkedIn. I actually just watched a video maybe about a week ago on my guy Before the Billions. Check out his channel. But he's an engineer who's laid off. He was talking about his journey being laid off and how a recruiter reached out to him through LinkedIn. And it looks like it ended up being a finesse, or they're trying to finesse him out of some money. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the infamous Bluetooth scam, which actually sounds terrible. The Bluetooth scam is actually crazy because I don't know about y'all, but I have my Bluetooth on like damn near all the time. Literally, if my phone is on, my Bluetooth is on. I got watches that connect to it that I don't got on, glasses that connect to it. So we're going to dive in on these scams. Let's go ahead. The first one up, we're going to talk about this scam utilizing LinkedIn and targeting recent graduates, because recent graduates, they broke as hell. They need some money, so they are prime victims for a scam. So let's go ahead, dive in, and check out this video.
The losses from job scams have jumped nearly 80% in recent years, according to the Federal Trade Commission. That translates to nearly $500 million a year stolen from people just trying to find work. I'm 7 News consumer anchor Diane Lee. And unlike a lot of scams I report on, this type is most successful on younger adults, especially students and new grads looking for their first big break. It's hard enough job hunting without becoming prey to scammers. Furman Jr. Audrey Ainghauser says job seekers have to be cautious.
When I was on LinkedIn, I saw a message that was just asking, like, would you like to work part-time, like from home, flexible hours, that kind of thing. And I've gotten a lot of those, so it just seems like those aren't really credible.
But still, thousands fall victim. The Federal Trade Commission finds the median loss per victim is $2,000. Jennifer Stoner with Furman University's Career Center says the warning signs are often missed.
We had one student in a while back who was just about to send some money.
What was the ploy?
I got into the offer letter stage and send us money so that we can get your computer and get you set up.
And what was the reaction?
All right, real quick. Let's talk about that real quick, because your boy went through a period where he was working some contract legal jobs, and they were literally all work from home. Anytime it's a job, and LinkedIn is how can I put this? LinkedIn is a gift and a curse when it comes to employment. You can do a lot of effective networking and research for companies through LinkedIn. I've actually used LinkedIn. I didn't know anybody at a particular law firm. I used LinkedIn and I looked through people I had connections with and mutual connections. And literally in like 2 hours, I had someone who was a partner at a law firm emailing another partner about me for an opportunity at that firm. And it took like maybe 40 minutes. of siphoning through. So LinkedIn is definitely a valuable asset, but the thing that makes it kind of terrible is actually in a public forum, and you have a lot of your information on there. When you have more information on a site that's publicly available, it makes scammers able to target a scam specifically to your needs. So if I just recently graduated from, high school or college, they're going to be able to look at my LinkedIn profile. They can target a scam opportunity related to a job that's specific to my profile because it has a lot of my prior employment. It has the schools I attended. It has that I'm a recent grad, and I may have a little image by my face that I'm looking for opportunities. So that's kind of how LinkedIn is a curse. Any job that I had that was a remote job, no one's ever going to ask you for money. They'll expressly say, hey, we send all of our employees a laptop. What's your mailing address? We'll get it to you the next day. It literally won't cost you anything. You'll have contact. You'll probably get some HR paperwork that's going to come from an official email address, something that you can verify from the actual business or the actual corporate entity. So that's always red flag number one. It doesn't cost you to start a job anything but time. I've never started a job where I had to pay initially. Well, except for that one time I was selling prepaid legal, but that wasn't a real job. That wasn't a real job.
Reaction of that student when he found out?
Stage and send us money so that we can get your computer and get you set up.
And what was the reaction of that student when he found out?
Shocked. It looked totally legitimate.
Let's take a closer look at one bogus job offer to highlight the red flags.
I'm a recruiter at VM Agency. We need a team of part-time assistants. The online hours are flexible and you can work from home with no restriction. Pay ranges from at least $200 to $1,280 per day. That's wow. That's just think about it. We need a team of part-time assistants with the pay ranging from $200 to $1,280 per day is wow. That immediately would be like, man, this is a scam. All you need is a smartphone or a computer to get the job done. You will be paid immediately at the end of each work day, 7 days a week. If you're interested, please contact me on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the biggest red flag ever. And I don't know if the person who fell for this, I think they were a university graduate because I think this lady speaking is from a university. But if anytime you see WhatsApp to any opportunity or anything, it's probably a scam. I actually on WhatsApp, I always get messages for some random person in China trying to get me into wholesale or something like that. But the salary is definitely a red flag. $200 to $1,200 per day, $1,280 per day for a part-time job that's not selling cocaine is a great part-time job, which is just not rational at all. It just sounds bogus. But contact me on WhatsApp is the biggest red flag that this person should have been aware of.
Part-time, work from home, flexible hours, high pay. Too good to be true. Plus, it comes from a Hotmail address instead of a company address and wants you to connect with them on WhatsApp. Too obvious? Stoner says the level of complexity only rises.
Some of these scams are sophisticated enough to actually put you through an interview process. You never see a human being. There's a red flag. But they can put you through a digital interview process, maybe ask for your personal information, your bank account, so we can send you your check.
To avoid these scams, always research the company, cross-reference job postings on the company's official website, and don't ever put sensitive or financial information on applications. A recent report by the Identity Theft Resource Center finds in 1 year, job scams jumped 118%. That spike fueled in part by artificial intelligence, which can scour social media to tailor scams right.
See, that was the first thing I said. Your social media content, what you got on the internet, scams can be tailored to you. They'll be like, hey, DebtFree Dad, we know that your favorite football team, you think this team going to do, they'll start a conversation based on all the stuff you got out there on social media. And you're like, oh man, this person, do they know me? They seem legit. That's crazy. AI is wild.
Right to you. AI is also helping helping scammers create job listings and recruitment messages that sound more believable, refining the pitch and correcting grammar. Does AI concern you?
I would say, yeah, in terms of these job scams, we think we know what a scam looks like and some of the things to watch out for. But with AI, everything's so new and we might not know anything about what really AI could do.
Andrew McCaskill with LinkedIn says AI is one reason the company has taken stronger measures to protect users. What is LinkedIn doing to try to prevent scams from reaching your members?
We began introducing verification in 2022, beginning with the About This profile. So users can then take a look at the profile and see, when was this profile created? If a profile of a recruiter has just been created in the last couple of months, that could be a red flag.
Angheiser managed to find a summer internship, and when it comes time to graduate, she, like so many other job seekers, will keep her guard up along with her hopes up of landing a perfect job. Now, the FTC finds younger adults are 5 times more likely to lose money to a job scam than older adults. For a breakdown of how the top job scams work, look for this story on WSPA.com/consumer.
All right, so let's talk about job scams and students. Really, there's only one real reason why this happened, because generally, if you're a recent graduate, it's very, very rare for a job to reach out to you for an opportunity. That's probably not going to happen unless you're maybe if you graduated top in your class or something, or you had maybe people will reach out to you if it's something like that. You went to a really top school, but normally for new graduates, jobs aren't going to reach out and be like, "Hey, we see you recently graduated. Here's this opportunity." Most jobs, you actually have to go out there and look for, and you have to be the person seeking the interest in the opportunity. That's just kind of how it normally is. Now, when you've been working in the game for a while, you got experience, it's more likely that a recruiter will reach out to you, because, well, you got to have an understanding how a recruiter works. Most recruiters, they work for the company that they're recruiting for, and it's their incentive to actually place someone in the job who can do the job. If they can place a person in the job and that person is there for a certain amount of time, they'll probably get a higher bonus or something to that effect. So most time when a recruiter reaches out, it's someone who has experience in a certain area. Like, "Oh, we took a look at your LinkedIn profile and see that you have experience or expertise in X arena," or something to that effect. If you just now graduating and you don't got a lot of experience and somebody reaching out to you for a job, that's probably something that should make your spider senses tingle. Because, it just doesn't happen unless it's like an Army recruiter. If it's an Army recruiter, they definitely going to reach out. They want you to be all you could be. But normally, that's not how those things play out. Now, this next one is interesting. Let me go and pull this one up.
Cybersecurity.
All right, I think let's see.
Cybersecurity.
All right, yeah, this one right here is actually the worst of the two, I think. I saw this and I was like, damn, this is actually a thing, because I know that people can get access to your phone, and SIM swapping is wild. I don't know if y'all ever heard of SIM swapping, where somebody gets access to your SIM card and pretty much take over your phone. That shit is terrible. That's actually worse than this. But this is a Bluetooth hack. I never really even heard about it. I knew that it was a thing. But let's check out this video and talk about it, and talk about a few things that you could possibly do to try to avoid it. But I don't know. Like I said, I think most people, they probably got their Bluetooth connected to their watch or their headphones or something. So most people, I would probably say 90% of people probably have their Bluetooth on all the time, 24/7, whenever their phone is on in general.
We all use Bluetooth technology to connect our phones to other devices or make it easier to send messages or send photos to each other.
I did not know about this, but did you realize leaving your Bluetooth open can be dangerous? You may have seen our push alert about this. On your side's Gary Harper here with a warning about a wave of smartphone attacks using something called bluejacking.
Every day, millions of people go wireless on their smartphone by connecting to Bluetooth. But did you know this? criminals are using Bluetooth to get to you. One of the simplest ways to get scammed is through bluejacking. That's when an attacker sends unsolicited messages to your Bluetooth-enabled device. Cyber criminals can bluejack a device from as little as 30 feet away. There's also...
That shit is crazy. Imagine being at a public place, like at an airport or a basketball game. That's wild. You can have your Bluetooth on and somebody could be walking up the street and snatch your stuff. That's absolutely terrible and wild.
Criminals can bluejack a device from as little as 30 feet away. There's also blue snarfing. That's where a hacker steals information from your phone through Bluetooth. This often works with older devices with out-of-date software. And one of the most dangerous is blue bugging. That's where a cyber criminal gets complete control of your device through Bluetooth. A cybersecurity expert says the best thing you can do is switch off your Bluetooth in public places and only use it when you really have to.
Do not use Bluetooth. Don't leave it on all the time just because you might get into the vicinity of some device you use. Use it sparingly. The other thing is, if you get a lot of Bluetooth pairing requests, switch off your phone if possible, or walk away from the vicinity.
He also says if you have a wireless device that never moves, like a security camera or doorbell, connect it through wires. Don't just use the wireless because it's easy. And if your device is older and no longer gets software updates, replace it.
And the argument is always, it still makes phone calls. I can still run WhatsApp or Signal or whatever on it, but it's not secure. And you keep it with you, and you're in areas where you have no control over security, so please replace it.
And do not accept requests to pair your device with a stranger. If you receive a file on your phone from an unknown device, don't open it. And by the way, always keep your devices updated. If there's a software update of any kind, do it as soon as you can. I'm Gary Harper, on your side.
That's actually crazy. Like, scams like that for me are like the absolute worst. Because a scam like that, it ain't really shit you could do. Let's just be honest. Like, hey, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't know. Like I just said, I typically have my Bluetooth on all the time because I got my watch connected to it, or these glasses or something connected to it. It's on all the time. I mean, realistically, if you're in a public place like, an arena, in the mall or something like that, you could cut it off. But then if you have something hooked up to your Bluetooth, it's not working, you maybe want to listen to your headphones or something to that effect. Phones now, they don't even make them with headphone jacks anymore. So, I mean, I'll be honest, like, it's really nothing. This is like the first time ever I'm like, man, it ain't really shit you could do. Try to turn your Bluetooth off in public places. But even in the video, the guy said they can hit your phone up from 30 feet away. 30 feet away, you could literally be in your crib and it could go left real quick if someone is in close enough proximity. So I would say probably turn your Bluetooth on only when you are in legitimate areas, man. See, yeah, I think everybody do, man. Most people leave that shit in all the time. They leave them in areas where, like, I have mine on at work. If I'm listening to like a podcast, and I'm probably listening to like some ratchet podcast, it may not be something ratchet, but they may be talking about something wild. I don't want that whole thing. I want everybody hearing this ratchetness I'm listening to. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that's kind of crazy. Your job might be one of the safest places, actually, now that I think about it. Like, if you actually work like in a building at a set location, like I'm only here. But I mean, that's jacked up. It ain't really anything you could do. And when you talk about updating phones, like, you'll be amazed. A lot of people don't update their phones. Like, a lot of people, like most people, they have it set to automatically update at some weird ass time, like 2 a.m. But a lot of people don't update their phones. Like, I know my kids probably never update their phones because they probably don't have like automatic updates on. I got my daughter like a Apple Watch or something for her birthday, and I was like, why the hell won't this thing up? Her phone had like software that was like, I don't know, like a year and a half old. I was like, yo, you actually need to update the software on this. But she had so many goddamn videos and pictures on it. She didn't she didn't even have enough memory to update the damn phone. It was crazy. So I think that one is terrible. The only one I've seen that was worse than that is SIM swapping. Let me see if I can find that video real quick because that one was short. That was actually worse than the Bluetooth. Yeah, I think that was way fucking worse than the damn Bluetooth one. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find this video real quick. Oh my god. Maryland woman loses $17,000 in SIM card swap despite two-factor authentication. Yeah, that shit is depressing. Hold on, let's take a look at that one real quick. Let me pull this one up real quick.
This is asking a security.
Yeah, these phone scams is the worst because it ain't nothing you can really do to stop it. I don't even know where to get, but yeah, Bluetooth hacking. I heard it all that. I know it ain't safe to do shit. You can't do anything anymore. All thing you can do is just pray, like, man, I hope they catch somebody else and not me. I be listening to horrible decisions. I can't let people hear me listening to that. I know them chicks be on there talking about all sorts of wild stuff. I be like, man, they are what is the phrase? Sexually free, I guess would be the proper phrase to describe the Horrible Decisions podcast. But this is the only other thing that I heard that is probably okay. I think this is probably more difficult to do because Bluetooth is just you end up being the target of that. I don't think you can really help it. But this one is actually terrible too. This is a SIM swap, and it actually how it works. And this lady lost $17,000, and she had two-factor authentication on her phone.
This is asking a security question tonight that deals with your cell phone. How did a Maryland woman lose $17,000 even though she had two-factor authentication on all of her accounts?
Well, security experts tell I-Team investigator Scott Taylor that it's a lot simpler than you could ever imagine.
We all know criminals have multiple ways to steal your identity, but 7 News is sending out a warning. SIM card swapping almost cost Sharon Hussey of Bethesda, Maryland, $17,000.
It was absolutely stunning. It was just like my heart fell to the floor.
It all started when Hussey got this email thanking her for a purchase of a new phone at Verizon. Minutes later, her contact information at Bank of America changed. The problem? She didn't do either transaction and had two-factor authentication on her accounts.
The bottom just kind of dropped out.
She called Bank of America, but her cell phone was no longer active. An online attempt required a verification code her phone couldn't receive. Within minutes, her 17 grand was missing.
Initially, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. I thought I had handled it on the first day by calling the bank, calling Verizon, figuring things out.
Hussey tells 7 News Verizon said someone in California walked into one of its stores and purchased a new phone along with a new SIM card and used Hussey's current phone number to activate the new phone.
That's crazy as hell. That's absolutely crazy as hell that nobody in the store, it wasn't one thing in place that anybody could do to somebody just randomly off the street walk in and be like, oh, I need a new phone and here's my phone number, and give them my phone number, and then I'm fucking out $17,000. That's absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. And the people at the store should be responsible for that because that's their problem. They didn't do the due diligence. Like when you go, I don't know about y'all, but when I go in the store to try to buy a phone or do anything, they give me the damn third degree to make sure they can confirm my identity. So that's actually wild.
Current phone number to activate the new phone. When the new phone was turned on, Hussey's phone went dead. Hussey used a landline to contact Bank of America, but it was too late. 17 grand vanished.
And I have two-factor authentication, which ended up kind of biting me in the face when it all came down to it. That was the thing.
I did read an article though. This was a while ago. I don't know if y'all like when you using logging into like your bank or something, they'll ask you if you want to set up two-factor authentication. And this article I read, it was like, oh, that's actually kind of terrible. And this is the reason why. Because with two-factor authentication, the new code to reset passwords go to her phone, and she no longer has access of her phone. So if somebody gets your phone and with access to it, they can reset everything, and you kind of screwed. So that was actually kind of wow. But I did see an article like that. So some things I have it on, some things I don't have it on. So it just kind of depends what it is. But the problem with it is once you tie your logging into that phone, if you can't log in and you need a new password, they're not gonna send the link to your email. They're gonna send it to that phone you set up, and then the other person got it. Then what the other person with the bogus phone is gonna change all your information, so the bank can't even call you or email you. It's crazy. Yeah, I agree. That's on the store. I don't know. Anytime I go to the store for the cell phone store for anything, it's a big deal about like, okay, who are you? What's your PIN number? They ask all these damn questions. So the fact that somebody just walked in off the street and did that shit with just their phone number is an absolute travesty.
Kind of biting me in the face when it all came down to it. That was the thing that completely hijacked everything. They had complete control of my phone, and there was nothing I could do about it.
SIM card swapping has been around for the past 4 years. But security experts tell 7 News this type of scam has recently skyrocketed.
In 2021, roughly 6 times as many dollars were stolen through this as the years before.
Online security expert Alex Kulisi with Umail says the scam is simple.
The bad guys convince the telephone company that they have the SIM for your phone number. And the minute the phone company does the swap, they're in control of your number.
Scammers then use two-factor authentication through your cell phone to access your accounts.
If you've been doing two-factor authentication everywhere to your mobile phone number, if someone else gets that mobile phone number, they can authenticate as if they're you.
Over the next 3 months, Bank of America denied Hussey's claim, saying it can't be honored. Eventually, the bank reversed its initial decision and refunded the $17,000. Bank of America tells 7 News, we take identity theft very seriously. We are always working to improve the experience, knowing that resolving identity theft issues is a complicated process. Verizon said in an email, when potential fraud is brought to its attention, it works quickly to resolve the matter. And due to customer privacy laws, it can't share specifics in its investigation. Here are several ways you can better protect yourself from SIM card swapping.
So the number one thing is to make sure you get a PIN or a number porting PIN with your carrier. That requires a special code that hopefully only you have that needs to be given to the carrier before they can do the SIM swap.
Wow, scary stuff. Some more tips so you can avoid this scam. Try to use authenticator apps or those face scans that we're all now using instead of a text code. Keep your personal information hidden and don't post online how much money you have, property, or assets.
That's common sense. That's common sense advice, but that's jacked up. That's actually insane that somebody just walked in the store and was able to do that. So the cell phone things, that's the benefit. When you want things at your fingertips, you want technology. Hey, everything comes with a cost. If you want more technology, even these glasses, like I got these glasses and I thought like, oh man, these glasses are cool. I went to a beach a couple of weekends ago, and while I'm at the beach, I'm like, oh man, this is like, yeah, I'm doing old shit. I got like a bird watching book, y'all. Somebody bought me a bird watching book, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go walking on this trail and use my bird watching book. And I didn't think of it, but I'm out there walking and I would see a bird and I ain't got time to flip through this thick ass book. So I was like, yo, I could just look at it. The glasses will tell me what kind of bird it was. Then I could just go look it up, go directly to it. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But I sat there and thought about it. Now there's an on and off switch so you can cut the power off. But just think about it. Like, these things got cameras on them. And generally, here, I'm going to hit the button. All right, y'all see that light that lit up? That light that's lit up right there is so that people can know that they're being recorded. And if you take a picture or record, that light is going to come all on, so people can't people can do some ill shit if they're recording without that light. And I'm sure there's some way you can jimmy rig it. You probably can go on YouTube and figure out how to get that light to cut off to record somebody without their knowledge. But the first thing I thought about was, man, you got these glasses on. Yeah, I can hit the button to record something, but how do I know that these shits aren't just recording my daily activities at all the time? Because think about it, it's some shit made by like Meta or Google or something. Man, these glasses probably scanning everything you look at and creating a profile and putting some advertisement for some shit you looked at or talked about on your damn thing, on your social media every time, every opportunity you log in. So when you want technology, that's great, but the problem is it creates more access and it creates more opportunities for people to finesse and take advantage. Let me go through these comments. Thank goodness for the landline. I don't know one anymore. Crazy. I wondered if it was linked to someone she knew. I don't know. That's a good question. Was it linked to someone she knew? I don't know. That's a good question. You know, what probably happened, because most times when you see like scams like this and credit cards and shit like that, people just, what they probably did was actually, I ain't gonna, well, yeah, I guess I could say it because people know how to do it, but people can get access to like the dark web and go and just buy a person's actual credit report. So I'm thinking what probably happened is somebody probably purchased their credit report or something like that on the dark web. Like, think about it. If you're on the dark web and you purchase a bunch of credit reports and you looking through them and you see somebody with an 800, somebody who got 800 credit score, is a strong likelihood that they probably got some money in the bank to finesse. That credit report probably got their phone number on there. That credit report probably showed who they have their phone carrier with. So it doesn't necessarily have to be. The only reason I think it wasn't somebody because it was all the way in California. She was in Maryland and it was all the way in California. Not outside of the realm of possibility, though. I have to show them ID before all that can happen for verification. That's crazy. Yeah, I know they normally ask like, "Hey, your mother's maiden name and what was the name of your second puppy's third born litter, first male dog?" Like, they normally have all those security questions. So I think that was all on Verizon. I think somebody dropped the ball somewhere. You shouldn't be able to just walk in there and say like, "Yo, my phone is jacked up. I need a new one. Here's my phone number." And yeah, I'm Sheila. Like, that's crazy as hell. I agree. That 855 number looked familiar. Yeah, that's the 855 is the universal scam number. That's funny, man. Hey, man, these glasses is dope, man. I was like, as soon as I saw these, I was like, I'm about to tell you though, everything is a finesse, right? I wanted them and I got them as a birthday gift. And they were like, I don't know, like $300 and something dollars, $400. And I kind of figured like I'm gonna get these as a birthday gift. And I was like, don't get me these glasses. I don't want them. Because when I did research, I was like, oh shit, I'm really fucking blind. And to get the prescription in these glasses, the shit costs more than the glasses. so I was like, yeah, I was like, and then it's crazy because you go to whatever Ray-Ban or whatever the place is, they take like one or two insurances, which is an insurance that like literally nobody got in this area. So you're gonna have to pay it all out of pocket. It was a whole blown finesse, but they pretty cool to have. Like, I don't know, like I can see how they're advantageous. Like, let's say a car accident or something happened. Car accident happened, you can easily record footage. If you about to get your ass whipped or get jacked, you can easily record footage. If you with your lady and you want to see what it looked like to play Call of Duty while you from that perspective, you can easily do it. So there are some advantages to these glasses, but that's the problem with technology. The more technology you get, the more you open yourself up. Like, so, you know, if I'm like, I don't know, if it's something I wouldn't, under certain circumstances, I can see why somebody would be like, you know what, I'm not recording anything, but let me take these glasses off. But you know what, I don't want to take my phone in there because I don't know about y'all, but I've actually had conversations about stuff literally, and the shit pop up on my timeline. I'd be like, man, I was just talking about some running shoes. Literally, I never searched it. I never put it into a search engine on my computer. I would just talk about some shit, and then the next thing I know, it's on my timeline. I need to make the POV video. My mind went straight to the gutter. My mind went straight to the gutter when I got him. I was like, man, this is like, because you look out through it, all you see is your head. I was like, this could be interesting. Dude said I need to make the POV videos. That's wild, man. You're a funny dude, man. That's hilarious. With consent, of course. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Definitely with consent, of course, even though some states are one party consent. But I'm not telling y'all to do anything crazy. I'm just saying. I like that recording from the lenses. Yeah, I think it's dope. Like I can see a situation especially if I was I think it's something advantageous. I would feel comfortable if oh, my wife is going somewhere out of town and she got glasses where she could hit a button and record for 3 minutes. Because once you record it, it automatically goes to not only your phone, but your account in the cloud. So if something happened, you could actually record it. And if you lost the glasses, you could still pull up the footage. So I could see how it could be advantageous. I'm going to tell you what would really be dope. Now, this is probably, it's probably unconstitutional, but if it had facial recognition, I was like, man, that'll be dope. If I could be walking and as I'm walking, if it's some people walking towards me, if it could tell me by facial recognition, hey, this individual was convicted for armed robbery in 2021, I might need to cross the fucking street. I know that sounds crazy. That's some Minority Report stuff, but that would actually be dope. If it was something like that, that would actually be cool as hell. That's funny. Can't go to jail. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Well, depending on where you're located, only one party need consent. Hey, there are 2-party consent jurisdictions and there are 1-party consent jurisdiction. That's crazy though, because yeah, I've actually seen cases like that where somebody will record something or conversation. It actually happens in the workplace a lot. In the workplace with EEO or whistleblower, or if your boss is threatening you or sexually harassing you, you see a lot of times people will make a recording. They'll make a recording of something, and then the issue comes up where one, generally recording in the workplace is typically frowned upon, but two, the issues come up if it's a 2-party consent place versus a 1-party consent place, which is an easy fix for that. If you got a boss who a creep and you got to record them, you need to go memorialize your recording in writing and just say, hey, I didn't record nothing. I just memorialize everything to the written form immediately after it happens. And then if they don't want to give you the bag, you use the recording as leverage. That's a joke. Kind of, sort of. Yeah. I'm weak for facial recognition would be dope. I mean, think about it. If you could just look at a person and it'll tell you if it was something that could pose an immediate threat, or if I was walking and I looked at a person and these glasses could identify the 9mm print in their waistband that I may have been completely oblivious to. Hey, that would actually be dope. I mean, it borderlines some unconstitutional stuff, but I don't know. Typically, if I walk and it's 2 people walking on my same side of the sidewalk, I'm across the street anyway, just out of common sense. I don't care who it is. It could be a 5'2" Asian guy and a 3-year-old, and I'd be like, man, let me cross the street. I don't know what they got going on. I'm just one of those. I'm just one of those people who overly cautious. I don't trust anybody equally. I don't care if I'm walking and there's 2 or 3. There's a group of women walking past me. I'm like, man, let me cross the street. I don't know what these women got going on. They may be crazy. So, I stereotype everybody equally because it's some wild people out here. But the moral of the story is, hey, I can't help y'all with every scam. Sometimes You just got to pray that you're the lucky one who don't get finessed. Try to make sure you can update your phone. If you can turn your Bluetooth off, like when you're at the crib, that is something to actually do. Or if you could turn your Bluetooth, only turn it on in places you feel secure. So, that'll be something that'll be dope. But that's the same with like Apple with the AirDrop thing. People just randomly get AirDrop stuff all the time. So it's crazy out here. All you can do is try to be aware of the scams and try your best to avoid them. And cross your fingers with a little bit of luck. Hopefully you don't get finessed. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to take a pivot because my guy Wolverine hit me up on some early morning stuff, said that they was looking for me over on the Pocket Watcher channel to talk about Village of Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. So I think I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because she going to prison. She going to prison, but there are some things that are worth talking about that just doesn't make sense because it's a pretty poorly run city government. We're going to dive in and talk about that. Hey, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. It's late as hell. I was watching wrestling, and after wrestling, I was watching YouTube, and I was like, you know what? Let me stop being lazy and make this damn video. But I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. If you're watching this on the replay side, check out the video on the screen. There's going to be more content related to finance and attorney reactions. Oh yeah, she is. I would be, if as much money as she misappropriated is only a matter of time. Like, I don't make guarantees that often, but I guarantee that Tiffany Henyard is probably going to be in like Leavenworth or something like that. We'll see. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. Y'all take care. Have a good night. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, who watching, everybody who commented and interacted. Y'all know I rock with y'all. Y'all my family. Y'all be blessed. Peace.